Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be adding some details to the mountainside. So let's get started. Alright, so as the mountain stands right now, it is very much a work in progress. It is not at all close to completion, but this is just the first layer here that you see right here is the rock panels. This is the first layer of it. So the second layer is going to be slopes, and then the third layer is going to be some foliage and some smaller details like that. And so this area over here already has a lot of details on it and slopes simply because I built those right into the rock work. Whereas this, I put the rock panels down and I called it a day. And so that area doesn't have any rock panels underneath it. So that's why it looks like that already. But I want to get the rest of what I've done so far up to par with that part. I can't unfortunately continue building upwards because I need to go back to the Lego store and excuse the mess here, but I need to go back to the store and get more 8x8 plates to mills plate this area so I can have a strong foundation to build up. And I also need those 8x8 plates over here. And all of these slopes that are over here, all this Duplo and all these bags of pieces will be getting used at one point or another on this mountain. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. But so for now, let's get started on adding some slopes to this and then we'll work our way up. All right, so this is what I've done so far. I've been trying to focus mainly down here on this base plate here because the seam of the base plate is where this black plate is all the way up through here. So I've been trying to focus on this edge of it first just to kind of get that out of the way. And it's not done yet because I keep running out of 1x1 bricks and I keep having to search for more. But like as you guys can see, there's still a gap in here and probably in a couple other places as well. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's looking pretty good. And I've slowly started creeping my way up a little bit. And I added a bunch of olive green pieces and a little bit of medium nougat as well. The medium nougat I don't love, but the olive green is really working for me. I might switch this to dark tan because there's some dark tan peeking through here. And that seems to be working for me, at least personally. So I'm pretty happy with this so far. But yeah, let me keep going and try to get to this corner because I haven't even touched that yet. I've been mainly doing this area here because I've been standing at this end of the table just so I can kind of see it from the front view. But once I get around to that side and start working on that side, I'll definitely show you guys that. And hopefully when we take a zoomed out look like this, it'll look pretty cohesive with all the slopes on that end, meeting with all the slopes on this end. Okay, so I went ahead and I added a bunch of slopes to this side of the mountain here, and I pretty much finished all the slope work on top of the train tunnel here, as well as the tiles up here. So I think this looks pretty good. Obviously, I do need to add a little bit more here and then going this way as well, but I do need to add in the pieces back here, as well as I want to just kind of get everything to the same level with this here, and then I can kind of go from there and figure out how this is going to work, because in my head right now, this at this height here, it's going to kind of come around this way, and this is all going to be kind of flat mostly, and then almost like how it is kind of down here, but throughout this over here, it's kind of in my head. I can't really explain it all that well, but I do know that I have to figure out a way to properly add in plate work over the train track, because this is not really cutting it, and also these bricks are not supposed to be here. So I have to figure something out for that, but that's going to be in the next episode of this mountain build series where I do this and I make the mountain taller. Today is just the detail work, and so I did add a lot of olive green to this as well, and I think that looks pretty good. Up close, I feel like there's too much of it, but when you take a step back, I think this is where it really starts to shine, and I'm zooming in a lot for you, but I think even like back here, I think it looks really, really good, and I'm happy with this. I think it looks good. There is that rock panel right there by the edge of my fingertip there, where that needs some slopes on it still, but everything else from this area pretty much to the left, I'm going to call it done for now. And then I do still need to work on all of that, empty all of these rock panels here that don't have anything on it yet. All right, so I went ahead and I started working on this section of rock panels here. I did this section in here a little bit, as well as this stuff down here. And I'm trying to kind of blend between, because again, this is the seam where the two base plates meet. So I'm trying to blend this in a little bit. So this is kind of taking a little bit longer than expected, but I think it looks fine for the most part. It could obviously be better, but with the pieces that I have and the design that I'm kind of going for here, I think it looks pretty good. I might add some other shades of green into this little landing here as well, like maybe regular green. I definitely want to try dark green. I think that could look pretty good. But as for the rest of it, I think I'm just going to do mostly slopes straight up, and I'm going to try and just get that going, because I have a lot of these 2x2 by 3 tall slopes and these 2x2 by 2 tall slopes here. So I want to use them. And so this is like the prime spot to do it, because over here on the corner, it was a lot of switching directions and 1x2 gaps and stuff like that. So this is the prime place to be using all of that stuff. And so I want to get that going here, but I need to figure out this area first, just so I can kind of build up from here. And then I also have to fill in this gap here, because again, this is another edge of a base plate here. And so I have to make sure that this all fits, as well as is separate from everything else. So that's kind of what I'm playing with right now, but I think it's turning out pretty good. So if I take a step back here, I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, I want to add a little bit more of color variation down here. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it's going. So let me add some more slopes here and try to blend this in a little bit better. All right, so I've been pretty busy, and I started off with this landing here, and I ended up adding dark green, some dark tan, as well as sand green. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. I didn't think the sand green would look that good, but I quite like it, actually. I think it looks pretty good. And then I pretty much just started adding a whole bunch of slopes to this section of rock panels here. And I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks really good. There is a couple of spots, like namely over there, and then a little bit in here as well, that could use a little bit of extra work and add a little bit more pieces to it. But I'm pretty happy with this. And so if you take a step back, it's really starting to come together, I think. So I'm pretty happy with this. Again, it is not perfect, but with the pieces that I have and the amount of time that I've been putting into it, I'm pretty happy with this. You know, I could put twice the amount of slopes on here, and I could put 3 times the amount of pieces and 4 times the amount of time, and it would look better, sure, but I don't know if it would be marginal. I don't know if it would be like better enough to warrant all of that. So I think this is pretty good as it is. And then over here, I'm starting to work on how this is going to look. And over here is going to be pretty flat, I'm thinking, and pretty gradual of a slope just to meet at this level here. And then I want to make it all flat so that I can build up in one section here. So, because my goal is to kind of flatten this out and then have all of the slopes on this base plate and then that corner one as well. But for this section, I want to just make it one giant section. So that's my goal, but I guess we'll see, because I still have to work in this area a little bit, but I think it's possible. I just have to figure out the logistics of that and also how to work out the seam of the base plates there. But let me actually tackle that really quick and then also finish up this little gap throughout here. And then I will show you guys how that looks. Okay, so I went ahead and I leveled everything out. So now the entire thing from all the way over there, all the way around to that corner is all at the same height now. And this area is not done yet. I would like to replace these 1x2x3 slopes with 1x2x2 slopes, but unfortunately I just don't have any. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this area. I do need to add a little bit more plate work into here to kind of round it out a little bit better. Same with right there. But other than that, I'm happy with the different colors on it. I thought it would just be olive green on here, but I think the sand green, the dark green, and the browns really helped it, I think. So I'm happy with this. I'll give you guys a different angle from over there in just a second, but I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks really good. Obviously, there is some parts of it, like this part is really flat, and there's like that part there and that part there that could use a little bit of extra work, but overall, I'm happy with this, and I think it looks awesome. And so here it is from the other side of the table here instead of the access hole. And I, again, am extremely happy with this. This area does look a little bit repetitive, but I'm sure it'll look a lot better once I add the top layer to it, as well as this side of it as well. My goal for this top section here is to, I already made it flat at the same level all the way across. And then once I get this side in, I would like to add tiles across this entire top section here, and then build the other, like the piece that's going to go on top of this. I'd like to build that separately, just so in the event I ever have to move this, it's not so unwieldy and large. So I think this is a pretty manageable height to move if I ever needed to. And so I'm kind of trying to just plan ahead in that sense. And I'm thinking that this area would be a good height, and then I could just add tiles on it and a couple jumpers, and then that should be good. And then I'll worry about the connection points and the weight of the top part once I start building that, which probably won't be for a while because I'm going to want to figure this section out first. I had to remove the tunnel here because I kept knocking it over. But yeah, this area will get prioritized before I do that next level, because I'm going to I might build it in one whole section, to be honest with you, because that base plate is no longer in play here. It's just this base plate here, which ends, as you guys can see, right where this seam is here. So I can just connect all this together on one base plate, and then this is its own base plate here, which I probably could just combine to one big top section. But I guess we'll see. Again, we're not worrying about that today. So on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on the mountain and how it looks, or if you have any suggestions for what I should add to it, definitely drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.